Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us today. I'd like to welcome each of you to another FranTastic InSights podcast. This is going to be a video segment whereby we introduce to you some very prominent personalities, all of whom are having a very positive impact on the ever-growing world of franchising. It's a dynamic industry. We're having double-digit growth year after year. We love it. And my name, for those of you who don't know me, I'm David Craghead. I'm the Chief Franchise Expansion Officer for FranServe. And today I'll be your host for this week's FranTastic InSights. For the past 14 years, FranServe has been recognized as the world's largest franchise consulting and expansion organization. We have a very simple mission statement, and that is we change people's lives in a very positive way through franchise ownership. And we do that through a network of incredible franchise brands in 39 different industry categories. Our growth initiatives are supported by a growing portfolio of franchise consultants. Many of you refer to them as franchise brokers. It's like a real estate broker, but they broker businesses. They don't broker homes. They broker franchise concepts. And all of our brokers are dedicated to helping their clients explore franchise opportunities, which are deemed to be a perfect match for their individual search criteria. And today I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Larry Rushing. Larry joins us today. He's the franchise developer for the very popular and highly successful brand known as Window Genie. They were founded in 1994. They began launching their brand with franchises in 1999. And for more than 25 years, Window Genie has been the sole leader in the national residentially focused window cleaning market. It's built on a very powerful culture and a proven professional system. Window Genie does more than just clean windows. They build winning businesses and franchise operations for hundreds of their franchisees. And that's the focus of our call today. So, Larry, thank you for joining us today. And as I pass the microphone over to you, please share your business model description with the audience and also share your latest perspective on the Window Genie franchise brand and business model.
David, thank you for that warm welcome, and I'm excited to be here and talk to you all great things about Window Genie. So, Window Genie is in the home service industry. We provide exterior cleaning for windows. We do pressure washing. We do gutter cleaning, window tinting, and believe it or not, holiday lighting has become a very, very big business for us. This business is very exciting because it will provide recurring revenue because of the multiple revenue streams and services. We're not just going out there and signing them for a single job. We're out there signing our customers up for annual maintenance programs where you'll see these customers multiple times a year, and the plan is to have them for you for years after years after years. And our document actually shows 68% of all of our jobs last year was with an existing customer. My view on this business, I've been in franchise development for 12 years. Neighborly, the parent company for Window Genie, is the world's largest home service provider. So when I had an opportunity to join Neighborly this year, I couldn't wait to join and learn from the best. And when I look at Window Genie, this business provides a lot of fundamentals that I would look for if I was going to start a franchise. First and foremost, the multiple revenue streams. Each one of our revenue streams could stand on its own as a separate business, but there is some seasonality which each one of those services. So by providing the entire scope of services allows our franchisees to generate revenue every single month out of the year. I also look for businesses that are truly scalable, and there is a difference between growing and scaling. Scaling is the more revenue you produce, the more margin falls down to the bottom line. Because you double in size doesn't mean you have to double the size of your facility or have to double the amount of marketing you spend. So this business continues to grow and provide additional profit to the bottom line as big as it gets. I love anything that has recurring revenue for a couple of different reasons. First and foremost, it's just easier to forecast your next year's financials on when you want to make investments and when you want to make that next hire because you know that you have 500 jobs already signed up for this next coming year. The other thing I love about recurring revenue is the value it provides you when you go to exit. When you exit a business, that new owner coming in is going to look at historical revenue, historical P&Ls. But if they know they're signing up for a business that already has jobs lined up for the next year, it just provides you a bigger multiple.
And it also provides more attractive applicants for your business, I would imagine, correct?
100%.
Let me ask you this. As you grow the Window Genie brand, how do you create your territories? What are the metrics you use to design the territories?
So we zoom into the zip code level and we look for qualified households. Depending on where you are in the country, it's a minimum of $125,000 of income per household, or in some of the other more expensive states, 150,000. And we need a minimum of 50,000 qualified households for a territory.
And I would imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you embrace a new applicant, a new franchisee for Window Genie, and they do great their first or second year, they're eligible to buy additional territories. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And I would imagine they'd be motivated to do so, right?
That's correct.
As our brokers watch this recording today, our consultants across the country, can you explain a little bit about the real hot, desirable territories that you'd like for us to help you fill with qualified applicants?
I love this question, David, because my last company I worked for, we were probably 80% sold out.
Ah,
This particular model, I would say 85% of the territory checks I get from consultants are available. So I don't have a specific hot market. I would say the entire United States, in every major market out there, there is availability there.
well, that's good news.
Yes.
And you did mention a minute ago there is some seasonality in your model. Um, Probably not so much in the South as it is in the North, but and you also mentioned there's multiple revenue streams for your franchisees. When they come out of training, do they immediately embrace all those different revenue models, or they do them one at a time?
No, they embrace all of the revenue streams. Window tinting takes a little bit special of a skill set, so they might wait to find the right person to provide that particular service. But no, they come out of training prepared and able and have all the equipment to perform all of the services. Seasonality, obviously, holiday lighting is during the holidays. But during the winter months is one of the busiest times of the year. It's 20% of our revenue in holiday lighting. And we are now getting into permanent lighting as well, so you can do that all year round. And in regards to, south or north, yes, if it's below freezing, you're not washing windows. But believe it or not, my largest franchisee is up in New Jersey. So you can grow big businesses in any part of the country.
And do your franchisees go off the ground? Do they do multiple stories?
Four stores.
Wow, that's up there. That's up
Mhm.
there. Um, okay, very good. And let me ask you this: as we being our brokers, as we help find you talent, new applicants, new qualified franchise applicants, can you describe for me and for the audience what you describe as a perfect franchisee for Window Genie?
When I get this question, people always laugh because the first thing that comes to my mind, and this is with any franchise I've worked for, first and foremost, we need someone that's coachable. I need someone that, regardless of their experience prior to joining the franchise, is willing to be coached, willing to listen, willing to implement our systems and our strategies to be successful. That is first and foremost the first thing you have to do to be successful. Now, with this business, most of your staff will be blue collar workers with the technicians. So you also have to have the ability to grow a team. People have to enjoy being around you or working for you. And this also takes a little bit of sales. When you're out doing estimates with customers and following up with customers, you have to be able to have the ability to have those conversations. But we will provide all the training and all the support you need and able to do so. But first and foremost, coachability and the ability to grow a team are really the first two things I look for.
You mentioned training, Larry. I want to imagine there's field training as well as classroom for the new franchisee. Was that correct?
That is correct. So the onboarding process from signing the franchise agreement to grand opening is about 13 weeks. During those 13 weeks, there'll be some online portal training that's happening, obviously getting you all set up with all the systems and everything you need to be operational. You will have 3 days at the corporate office in Dallas for business training week, and then you'd spend another 3 days out in the field with a designated franchisee that is going to train you within their business. And then there's also multiple weeks of technical training with our trainer. So there is a lot that goes into getting you opened up, that's for sure.
Is there a definite emphasis in your services geared to residential versus commercial clients, or is there a blend?
I'm glad you asked that question. So there is a blend today. Obviously, what you know about Neighborly is we're the world's largest home service provider. So 14 million customers, they're all homeowners, right? But our next push over the next 3 to 5 years is really going after the commercial market. Instead of having a $500 job, we're talking a $5,000 job. We're talking about signing these people up for multiple years on a service agreement, going out and doing weekly jobs for commercial settings. We already have it available now as the equipment. We have a box truck that you can actually mount a commercial pressure washing rig within that has multiple devices you can run off it, and you can do parking lots and parking garages and whole facilities. So that will be the next push moving forward, would be focusing on commercial.
That could become a huge piece, right?
Huge piece. That's where I came from. My company prior to this was commercial cleaning. They did pressure and window washing as well. So I'm kind of, nudging them. Hey, well, this is an area
Right.
that we can dominate as well. And we're already a very large business today, with it being the country's largest residentially focused franchise. If we just layer on commercial on top, there's no stopping us.
Excellent. What effects, if any, is the current economy having on the window genie model?
To say it has zero effect would just be a plain out lie with any business, right? There are people out there that are watching what they spend their money on, and sometimes there's some things that need to be cut. But during this down economy, we've actually grown in double digits last year and the year before. So we are on a growth trajectory, even though the economy may be down. So we just pivot and focus on the areas where we know people are still spending money and want to maintain their biggest assets, being their home or their business.
Are you forecasting any, other than the commercial piece, are you forecasting any significant changes to your model over the next 1 to 3 years, for example?
I don't know if it's so much of a model shift besides commercial, but I do know what we're going to be putting together to support the commercial push is a full-blown sales department. And obviously, you're going to start small and start with training. We're actually holding some training classes this week for our franchisees. And then I wouldn't see out of the question that in the future that putting together a corporate accounts team and trying to lock down commercial, corporate, or national regional accounts is on the horizon as well.
Very good. Okay. Um, for our brokers that are watching this recording, are there any hot territories around the country that you really like for us to focus on for you as we recruit new applicants for Window Genie?
I would say the West Coast is pretty wide open. California, Arizona, some of those warmer climates, like you mentioned, that could definitely utilize, these services 365 would be excellent markets to go after. There's still some left over in Florida, and that's a very, very popular state for franchising in general. But like I mentioned before, we have a lot of availability. So, regardless of where you're doing your marketing, if you have a candidate, chances are we have availability for them in their area, so send them our way.
Very good. Okay. Now, for the average person that goes to bed thinking about a franchise, they probably don't wake up thinking they want to have a window washing franchise. It's not that sexy, but
No.
how do you get past that non-sexy image when you're talking to a new applicant?
I always go back to the fundamentals. If I was presenting any type of cleaning company, whether it's windows or commercial, restaurants, whatever it is, I would just remove the whole, hey, let's talk about commercial cleaning. Just say, hey, look, If I can show you a business that has multiple revenue streams, that has extremely high margins, that is very scalable, that provides you recurring revenue in a market, an industry that's very fragmented, would you be interested? And most people are going to say, yeah, tell me more. And that's when you shift, okay, let me tell you about Window Genie, and this is what they do, and talk about it. But as soon as you get them interested in just the basics of what the business provides you in return, regardless of what the service and product is, then you have their attention.
You know, I can tell you, I've been in franchising with this company for 15 years, and year after year, it's the non-sexy brands that seem to do the best. They are the quickest to launch. They have the best margins, and people need them. People
Yes.
need the services that you guys provide. So we love it. Let me ask you one more question. By the way, thank you, Larry, for being so thorough with your answers. I appreciate that. What
Mhm.
is the typical ramp up time for a new franchisee with Window Genie from the date they sign their franchise agreement to the ribbon cutting? What kind of time frame does that look like?
We start with a 13-week process, and every week is layered in with specific things they need to accomplish. Does opening shift every once in a while, a little sooner or a little later? Yeah, sometimes. But 13 weeks is the target.
Okay, good deal. Well, Larry, that brings me to the end of my questions. For those that are watching this and for your benefit, are there any other topics that you would like to touch on that we may not have addressed today? Anything else you'd want the viewers to know about Window Genie?
Well, I think it's important to understand that Neighborly as well as Window Genie is a forward-thinking progressive company that prides itself on building profitable businesses by providing the resources, infrastructure, and systems to do so. We are an extremely established business. So when we go and make hires for marketing or systems or sales, we're not just hiring the first person from college that has no experience. We have the ability to go hire top performers in their seats. And I also think that Window Genie is an excellent option for anybody that's looking to partner with a well-established brand and that provides that infrastructure, that's for sure.
Okay, well, Larry, thank you for the privilege of your time today. I certainly do appreciate you joining us, and I think you are stepped in kind of the last minute, so thank you for doing that. This entire interview will be posted on the FranServe support site. It'll be archived in the FranServe library, and it'll also be uploaded in a matter of days to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So once again, Larry, thank you, and we will adjourn today's FranTastic InSights recording. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it.
You bet. Take care now.